So I'm going to be doing a video that is an overview of the Tides Foundation, Johanne Mennie, and the social economy, otherwise known as the social solidarity economy. So I just want to give a thanks to Stephen Garvey, Simone Georges, and Sean Paul Melville, and a big thanks to Civilian Intelligence Network, and also apologies if I've mispronounced any of your names. And there will be a lot of French in this video, and I am not the best at pronouncing French, so apologies in advance. Moving forward, talking about globalization, it paves the way for one world governance with Marxist ideals, and the rise of the social economy started off as a 19th century labor movement that resurfaced in France in '68 when there was a reshuffling of states, corporations, and civil society. And the social solidarity economy originated in France in the late 90s by an association called the Réseau de l'économie alternative et solidaire. And essentially, they were implementing the social economy's mandates, and the members were either communist, socialists, or members of the Green Party. The term gained its acceptance in '95, social solidarity economy in Quebec, when Le Monde, a newspaper in France, used it. Now, social economy is basically a euphemism for communism, just so we're clear, just like how sustainable development is a euphemism for genocide. So, Lucien Bouchard, who started Parti Québécois, now known as Bloc Québécois, called a socio-economic summit for the first time in history, and basically different groups, organizations, and people were discussing the social solidarity economy. And now what's interesting is the legislative advisor to the Parti Québécois was Maxime Bernier. In 1996 to 1998, he was the legislative advisor to Bernard Landry, who was the premier of Lucien Bouchard. So anyway, they started something called the Chantier de l'économie sociale de Québec, which was basically a non-profit corporation mandating the social economy in Quebec. And what was done at that socioeconomic summit is that the unions agreed to freeze wages, while the government and private corporate sector agreed that the social economy would be supported by federal and provincial government policies. So this is an interesting article here by Stephen Garvey, and he even leaves an interesting video of Bernier saying a few questionable things, to say the least. Now, going with the Rockefeller Foundation, it was instrumental in setting up the UN headquarters in New York City, and the World Bank functions as an arm of the UN. So, and Bernier got the start of his business at the Power Corporation, which is run by, I don't think Helene runs it currently. I'm not too sure about that. But the Desmarais are very wealthy family with a French surname. I don't know too much about them, but I know that they're involved in politics and the economy. Now, when Bernier was the executive VP of the Montreal Economic Institute, it was ran by the Power Corporation. And a little bit of background here, the Montreal Economic Institute was funded by something called the Libertarian Atlas Network, which was then funded by NED, the National Endowment for Democracy. You can watch my previous videos, or one of my previous videos that talk about NED. Now, anyway, the social economy is basically a stepping stone of UN Agenda 2030. So, in 2006, what happened was Harper came into power, and at the time in March 2006, when Maxime Bernier was Minister of Industry, he managed the Human Resources and Social Development Canada, as well as Social Studies Humanities Research Council. This one is also known as Social Sciences Humanities Research Council. And at the time, in March 2006, he submitted a review of the social economy. So he is well aware of what Marxism is, by the way, and has been for a very long time, just for anybody that saw his recent interview with Jordan Peterson. Um, Also, as well, in 2006, like I said, he basically praised the merits of the social economy, from what I understand. And in October 19th to 20th, there was a 2-day meeting called Scaling Up the Canadian Social Finance Sector in 2006 that was held at Carleton University. And Johanne Mennie had attended. And this is some of the guest list that was there. So Edward Jackson was supported by the Demaway Power Corporation, and then Tim Broadhead is the member of the Trudeau Foundation who was there. And Coro Strandberg has a consultation firm where Coro herself advocates for the sustainability agenda, essentially. So, like I mentioned, it was a 2-day set of meetings. It was hosted by the Tides Foundation, by the way. And just so we're clear, the Tides Foundation is George Soros's money gateway into North America. Tides Foundation is funded by Open Society Foundations, which is George Soros's company. Chanteur de l'économie sociale, Nancy Ninten, I don't know if she is currently the CEO, but she at least is an advocator of the social economy. So these were the 4 goals that were discussed in that meeting, but I'm only going to be talking about 1 and 3 because those are the ones that impact government. So access for capital to the social economy. Basically, the funds that are decentralized will be the ones that are used. So like pension funds, mutual fund loans, stuff like that. And perhaps the Social Investment Bank, which is a branch of the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, as well utilizes funds and advocates for the social economy, but I have to do more research in that department. And goal 3 is about government of different levels advocating for a policy change or implementing policy change. So that's moving closer and closer toward UN Agenda 2030 gradually through the advocacy of the social economy. And in this article here, basically, which is called Canada Has a Quebec Problem, which that's where most of the globalism in Canada comes out of. Here on the left, we have a set of Privy Council meeting where Johanne Mennie's name is there. And then this is the same guest list from that 2006 meeting in October. This one takes place in November, the Privy Council meeting, just a month later, where some of the members you see in common on each list, and some of the others that I went over, such as Tim Broadhead and Coro Strandberg. Now, quick little resume here of Johanne Mennie. She was the Deputy Director of the Social Sciences Humanities Research Council and the Humanities Resources and Skills Development Canada, which is where Bernier was managing as Minister of Industry, and he submitted this social economy review to these guys up here. And Johanne Mennie was the Director of the Heritage Foundation, the Justice Department, and a member of the Privy Council. Pretty deadly. Now, she is the director of Canada Inc., and that is still a really big mystery as to what that is. But I can tell you that she acquired CSIS funds in order to start up whatever Canada Inc. is in January to March of 2018. And in September 2018 is when the People's Party of Canada was launched by Maxime Bernier. So is there a connection to CSIS and the PPC? I am not sure. And what exactly is Canada Inc., as asked here? And why was it started within the same time period that the PPC was formed, within roughly 6 months or so? And as well, is Maxime Bernier a member of the Privy Council? That's a pretty interesting question I have. Now, I have more questions than I do answers, but this video was just meant to open the door for people to do some research on the PPC, the Tides Foundation, social economy, and Johanne Mennie. So thanks everybody for the support, for the views and the likes and whatnot. Stand strong, stand sovereign, stand in your own power. Thank you very much.